Greetings my friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing with you guys 5 different dinners that I made from my Walmart haul. If you haven't seen that Walmart haul yet, I will post a link down below and in the cards right above so you can check out all the stuff that I purchased at Walmart, and then I'm sharing all the meals that I'm making with that food. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so for tonight's dinner, I'm doing like a kind of like my own take on gumbo, red beans and rice, what have you. So I have all my stuff already out and chopped. I have my bell peppers, my onions, my green, what is this? My celery chopped up. I have garlic. I have my sausage, my andouille sausage, and then I also have some of the chicken thighs I cut up. I only used 2 of the thighs because I realized there's a lot of meat right here. The first thing I'm going to do right now is start cooking off my chicken, and then I'm going to take out my chicken, then I'm going to put in the sausage, and then remove the sausage, and then start cooking down all of the vegetables. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did make an 8x8 baking dish of cornbread, and of course I will link that recipe down below as well. I did make some cornbread muffins on an old freezer meal video that I did, really old, but it's still pretty helpful I think. But I'm not going to do the muffins. This is just way easier to pour it in an 8x8 dish like that. Over here too, I already have my beans soaking. I have the kidney beans already soaking. They've been soaking I think for 4 to 5 hours. So there's like several different ways that you can do beans while this is heating up. There's several different ways that you can do beans. You can do an overnight soak where you just pour in the beans, fill it up with water and leave it alone. You can do, I believe it's like a 4-hour soak, which is what I'm doing. So I brought this up to a boil. I turned off the heat and then I covered it. That's what I did. And I think there's also like even faster ways to do it, but they're pretty squishy already. So these beans are about ready to go, but for now I need to cook off everything else. All right, so I have a little bit of olive oil. Here's the chicken thighs. I'm just using 2 of the chicken thighs that I got in my Walmart grocery pickup order. And then the other 4, I think there was 4 left. That's gonna be used for the creamy chicken pasta that I have coming up. So this is going in, I'm gonna cook this off. And this I'm not going to season too much because there's going to be a lot of seasonings going on in the gumbo itself. I don't know what to even call this. So I think the differences between like red beans and rice, gumbo, and jambalaya is jambalaya, rice is cooked with it, I believe. And then with like red beans and rice, I believe it's just kind of the rice is on the side, you add the rice to it later in the dish, and then a gumbo is the same thing as red beans and rice essentially, but it's more of a stew, so it's more soupy. We'll see where this takes us. So I'm not doing a jambalaya. This is more of like a gumbo slash red beans and rice. What, baby? Putting in some pepper in here too. I just want to brown them right now. I don't need to fully cook them because I still need to like boil this all off for 30 minutes to an hour, I think. Okay, my chicken is done cooking. I'm gonna put it onto a clean plate. Not the plate that I had the raw chicken on originally. Please don't do that. And then I'm not gonna add any oil or anything to the bottom of this pan. I'm just gonna add the andouille sausage straight in. In goes the sausage. And I always use like dedicated, if I have to cut meat, I usually don't. I usually like use scissors to cut up chicken or anything, but if I have to chop on something, I always end up using a different cutting board. I don't use my wood one. I use something different from what I cut my vegetables on. I have a different spoon to stir these around, and these are only going to be in here for about 5 minutes or so. Okay, my sausage is done cooking. I'm going to put them just on the same plate as my chicken, and then I'm going to start cooking up the vegetables. I love the smell of andouille sausage. It smells so incredible. So there's still a good amount of fat down here, but I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more olive oil to it because there's quite a bit to saute. So I'm gonna have that warm up here for a sec. In goes the bell pepper. And this is 1 orange bell pepper. I have 2 stalks of celery. Okay, I'm gonna mix this all up. And then I'm gonna add in my onion and garlic after about maybe 2 to 3 minutes. I want this to cook down more. Right now, I'm also gonna add in, before I add the garlic, because the garlic's not gonna take that long, I'm gonna add in my seasonings. So it's gonna be a literal hodgepodge of seasonings here. some Cajun seasoning. I forgot to show that. And I don't really know how much, maybe like a teaspoon. Some smoked paprika, probably, I don't even know. Let's try this out. That's about closer to a teaspoon right there. Some thyme, definitely close to a teaspoon. I'm trying to get right there. A teaspoon of oregano. And then I'm just gonna add in the smallest pinch of some cayenne red pepper. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells good. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt because we're gonna be putting in some beans. So you know those beans definitely need to be salted, and some black pepper. I always like to use kosher salt, and I keep it in one of these ramekin dishes just so it's easy access. I'm gonna start off with 2 teaspoons. I'm sure I'm gonna need maybe, or like 2 pinches. I'm sure I'm gonna need more. And some ground pepper. I've already drained and rinsed my beans really well, so I'm gonna add that to the pot. All right, those are going in. That's a lot of beans. Sheesh. And now I'm gonna add in my water. I have about 5.5 to 6 cups of water in here. I'm gonna let this come up to a boil and then lower it and cover it for like 30-ish, 45 minutes maybe. And then I'm gonna check it, and then I will add in all of my cooked meats that are over there. So to save me some time right now, because I'm just waiting on everything to be boiled and cooked, I'm gonna start cutting up the rest of my chicken thighs so that I can use it for the next meal, and it'll just save me time that day. Everything will already be cut up, which this can take time sometimes. So I'm gonna just start doing that. Just popping in here to say, it is so loud in my house, which is why I mainly do voiceovers like this. But if you guys don't mind the loudness, let me know. All right, I cut up all of the chicken, so that saves me some time whenever I go to make that chicken pasta dish. Okay, the 30 minutes or 45, however long I did it for, is up. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna start smashing some of the beans along the side of the pot. You can see how they just kind of smash, and this will make this thicker. You don't have to do all of them. You can certainly keep the majority of them whole. I'm probably gonna do about half of them a little bit thicker. Whoops. Or I can just lose some as I squish them. So I'm just gonna keep doing that, and then I'm gonna add in my sausage and chicken. This dinner was incredible. So I try to make this a few times a year. I love it. My kids love it. They love the andouille sausage, which is really surprising because it's kind of spicy, but they really like it. But what I love about this dish too is that you can kind of mix up the proteins. You can do chicken and andouille, or maybe like andouille and shrimp, or shrimp and chicken. Whatever your family likes will be perfect. And of course, you got to top this off with some Crystal hot sauce. If it were just me in the house making dinner for myself, this is probably the meal I would make like once a week. This is creamy sun-dried tomato chicken pasta. It is so incredibly easy to put together. Also, a huge tip, get your sun-dried tomatoes from Costco. They come in a huge jar and they last forever in the fridge, so you don't have to pay like $5 per jar every time you go to like Walmart or Target to get those sun-dried tomatoes. I'm very happy that I ended up having already cut chicken from the day before, because that was just one less step for me to do that day. So this really came together so much quicker, because for whatever reason, the chicken thighs, they took me like 5 to 6 minutes to cut up, which doesn't seem like a lot of time, but when you're just standing there cutting, it's like taking forever. So that is my tip to you. If you have chicken that you're going to use for one dish and then you're going to need it for the next dish, which is like cube chicken or whatever, just do it all in one day so that it cuts down on your meal prep. So I sauteed up my chicken, I added all my seasonings, I grated some Parmesan cheese on top, and then I'm going to remove the chicken from the pan so that I can make a sauce. So I'm going to add some butter, I'm going to add in my shallots and my garlic, and then I'm going to add in my water. And so we're going to be cooking the pasta in the same pot, which is great. It's a great time saver. Oh, my daughter's saying I'm being too loud, I'm sorry. Looking back, I think what would be a better addition than the water is chicken broth. I mean, water is very easy and much cheaper, but if you have the chicken like bouillon powder, you get a ton of it in a jar. So why not just do chicken broth, so that it flavors the dish even more. I'm probably going to do that next time. And then also, as far as pasta goes, I used rigatoni, and you're probably wondering, well, this is a Walmart haul, why do you not have a Walmart brand pasta? Whenever I went to go do my order, there was no pastas at all. There was nothing. I needed 3 different pastas and they didn't have anything, so I had to go to Target to get those pastas. So I apologize if that's misleading, but I just had to use a few Target brands for this Walmart video. But as far as pastas go, you can really use any pasta you want, any short type of pasta. So you can use penne pasta, ziti, literally whatever you have. Maybe even egg noodles, I don't see why not, would do great in this. But whatever you have in your pantry, use it. This is kind of almost like a pantry clean out meal, because I don't know about you, but I always pretty much have all these ingredients on hand. Speaking of pantry clean out meals, I will have a pantry organization video coming out in the next few weeks or so. My pantry was a hot mess. It definitely needed to be cleaned, and boy, is it a big one. So if you're not subscribed already, definitely hit that subscribe button right now so that you get notified of that next video. This next meal was actually another good kind of pantry cleanup meal. I had a sleeve of Ritz crackers that needed to be used and some cod in my freezer that needed to be used as well. This is a baked cod with garlic and herb Ritz crumb. And it was incredibly easy to make, very simple. You're going to bake off the cod first for like 10 minutes, and then you're going to incorporate those Ritz crumbs, the like Ritz crumb topping on top of the cod, and then you're gonna bake it again in the oven. It is a very simple dish. Not many ingredients are used, which is great. And actually my kids really enjoyed this. So for that crumb topping, you're going to be using the crushed Ritz crackers, some panko breadcrumbs, parsley, garlic, lemon zest, and some salt. And then you're going to add in some melted butter, and you're just going to incorporate it all together. So it's kind of like a grainy, like sand type texture. And then you're just going to plop it right on top. I just started with like a tablespoon or 2 per cod, just to make sure there was enough for all of the fillets. And then I went back and I added more crumbs as needed. With this cod, I paired it with the very easiest rice pilaf. I actually made it in my 3 easy dinner ideas video, so I'm not gonna walk through that again, but my husband is obsessed with this side dish. And I also paired this with some roasted broccoli. For the broccoli, I like to roast mine at 400 degrees for like 15 minutes or so. There's not much broccoli on that sheet dish because my kids, they prefer the raw broccoli versus the cooked broccoli. So that's how I give it to them. And so when I do that, I'm able to put some fresh lemon juice on top for me and my husband, because we love the tanginess of the lemon on our broccoli afterwards, after it's done cooking. So it works out for us. Okay guys, I made a major mistake, and I do not want you to mess up here either. When you go to serve your cod, serve it on top of your rice if that's what you're serving, because you're going to want to drizzle that lemon sauce wine butter on the bottom of the cod pan over your cod and into the rice, and it soaks up so deliciously into the rice. It is incredible. Do not sleep on that lemon butter wine sauce. So I'm getting ready to make this winter minestrone soup. Originally, the weather was supposed to be really cold and kind of overcast. Check it out. It is absolutely beautiful outside, sunny, like a little cold, but I mean, this is like weather I've been dying for. This is not soup weather, but you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm so ready for spring. I'm ready to get this backyard like back in tip-top shape where it was, but it is so pretty outside. I don't know how long the sun is gonna last, but I'm accepting it, taking it in, and loving it. So for this minestrone soup, I'm changing several things. One of them being pancetta. She uses pancetta. I'm just going to use bacon because that's what I have. And then the other thing I am using differently, is sweet potatoes. She uses butternut squash, but I have sweet potatoes. That's still wintry in my opinion. Also, I'm going to be using double the amount of spinach. I think she only uses 5 ounces. I'm just gonna put as much as I can in there. And I think that is it. So I'm gonna start making the soup. Oh, and the lemons are nothing. That is for a future blog post. I just don't know what to do with them. I might do a little squeeze of lemon. I don't think lemon is in this, but I have no idea what to do with this. Alright, my bacon is done. I'm going to transfer the bacon with a slotted spoon because I want to use some of this bacon fat to fry up my vegetables. Not fry it, you know what I mean, saute it. And I think I cut up a lot more vegetables than needed. So I'm going to add in just a little bit of olive oil, I think. Everything is going in right now. I'm going to do the sweet potatoes. I think I cut up more sweet potatoes than necessary. I'm going to leave that little bit. We'll see how we are looking with room. And then I'm going to throw in the carrots, celery, and the onion, and last will be the garlic. Alright, I've let these cook for several minutes. I'm going to add in the garlic. And I don't think I'm going to add in that extra sweet potato because there might be too much in here already. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it. This has been sauteing for a total of like 10 minutes. I'm going to start adding in all the liquids. So I have my 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes going in. Then I'm going to add in a full box of the chicken stock, and in here there are 4 cups. So I need 2 more cups of chicken stock. And so I'm only going to use half of the other box, and then we'll see if I need to add more stock later. I'm actually going to pour out like half of it into the can to make sure I get all the tomato puree out of here. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to do some black pepper. I'm going to add some bay leaves, and then I'm going to bring this up to a boil. It smells so delicious already. My soup is coming up to a boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on, like not all the way on, but kind of off like that, just a little bit. And then I'm going to lower the heat, and I'm going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Here I have about 10 minutes left of my soup timer. I'm going to throw in some salt, and I'm going to boil up some ditalini. So I have 1 cup of ditalini going in, and this will cook for about 10 minutes, which is about the time when my soup will be done, or not done, but I will add more things to the soup. My timer just went off. I'm going to drain the pasta. I'm going to add the pasta into the soup, and then I'm going to add in some wine and some lemon juice, the bacon, and then the cannellini. Actually, I need this colander first. I'm adding in the beans right now because I need this colander to drain my pasta. Okay, beans going in. Same with the bacon. And I'm just going to add in my wine right now. And how about I fix y'all so you can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay. And I don't know how much wine it was, maybe a 1/4 cup or something. I always keep like leftover wine that is probably not great to drink, but I use it like still in cooking because I think it's still fine to cook with. Oh, it's 1/2 cup. Okay, I just went back to go look just to see. I can add in some more. All right. And then I'm going to put in the spinach. Here we go. A lot of spinach. I did say I was doubling it because it didn't look like a lot. Here we go. And covering it with a lid will help wilt the spinach too. And then I'm going to get the bread in. Remember, I got bread from my Walmart haul. This bread right here, and it only needs to cook for maybe 10 minutes. What is it? Oh gosh, good thing I checked. 3 to 4 minutes. That would have burnt. So I am going to do a little bit of lemon juice right in here. Hopefully no seeds come out. And I already stuck my bread in the oven. But this smells incredible. And then I'm just gonna pour this into some bowls and then top it off with some grated Parmesan cheese. That looks so delicious. Tonight's dinner is going to be poor man's steaks, and what I have to do is I need to adjust the ingredients a little bit because the recipe calls for about 2.5 pounds of ground beef, but I'm only going to be using the ground beef that I get from Costco, and that's 1.34 pounds right here. So I'm adjusting the amount of cracker crumbs and then the milk, and I'm going to get started on this because this has to bake for an hour, and then I'm going to get started on my mashed potatoes. If you've made it this far into my video, thank you so much for watching and for being here. And if you are new, my name is Alicia. We are a family of 5. I have 2 boys ages 10 and 6, and then a daughter who is 2.5. And on my channel, you can expect to find a lot of grocery hauls, dinner videos, lunchbox videos. I love all things food related. So if you don't like food, this is probably not the place you want to be. But with that said, I also have some travel stuff going on, some Disney World things, family travel, all that good stuff. So if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe to my channel. Say hello down in the comments down below. I would love to get to know you. I just made the beef patties. I made 6 of them and they're pretty decent size. So what I'm gonna do now is dredge them in flour, and then I'm gonna fry them up, probably in batches of 3. And then I'm gonna put them into this baking dish that I sprayed with nonstick spray. And then I'm gonna cover it with the gravy. See, I'm kind of just rolling the patty lightly in flour. I'm gonna drop it in here. I'm gonna fry these up just for a few minutes per side. They don't need to fully cook. Do 2 minutes per side here. Okay, timer just went off. So I'm gonna flip these. And then 2 minutes on this side. Okay, my timer just went off. So I'm gonna transfer these over right in there. Then I'm gonna cook off my other 3 patties. I finally caved in and got myself a potato ricer. So if you don't know what that is, it's essentially just a tool that you can use to mash your potatoes, and it like makes them super fine so that when you go to like mash them, you actually don't even mash them. They kind of just like melt into each other. It creates like this shredded potato. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have gotten this many years ago. I have slight tendonitis in my hands, so working with like mashers and like squeezing like spatulas and whatnot for long periods of time do not do good for my hands. Guys, I am linking this product down below. Like I said, it is a game changer, and you will see after I've riced the potatoes, you will see how easily like they just mix into each other. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to use anything else other than a spoon to mix it. Ah, where has this product been all my life? Okay friends, I am wrapping up this video right here. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and this gave you some new fresh dinner ideas. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel on your way out. I would really appreciate your support, and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.